my inky friends. It's Cindy Lynn with my inky fingers. Thank you so much for joining me today on my YouTube channel and blog. If you watched my recent unboxing, you saw that I picked up the Playful Pet Suite. It was absolutely one of my favorites in the catalog. All of the stamps and dies and designer series paper and everything, they were all so cute and adorable. So for today's Let's Case It, Let's Make It Master Your Card Making Monday, I want to case this card off page 41 in the catalog. Now I say case, but I'm going to use that word lightly because it was kind of more inspired. These are all just some of the cards I had flagged, but this little dog here with the cone, oh my gosh. So I totally am going to show you guys how to make this your own. We're going to switch it up today and we're going to use that cat because come on, do you see the attitude on that cat's face? I mean, that cat looks like it should have a cone around its neck. So I'm going to go and I'm going to fussy cut all of this out, and that there's no die that matches the kitty cat, but that's okay because I've got a movie on. I'm still watching Family Man. I think that's the only movie I've watched for the last 2 months, but nevertheless. So now that I've got her all fussy cut out, I'm going to kind of do some paper surgery here and cut her head off. I felt really bad. I thought, and then she's looking at me with that look, and then I didn't feel so bad anymore. So nevertheless, I've got her all cut out. Now with a piece of vellum, I'm going to use a 1.5-inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch out her cone. And I'm just kind of looking at her there going, how am I going to make this cone not be so flat? Right? Because in the card, in the catalog, it kind of looked like it was had a little bit, of curve. So I pulled out my trusty take your pick and I just left the cap on the end and I'm just kind of creasing it. And it's kind of creating some triangles, if you will. It looks like a little pizza, but that's okay. I can't make a perfect circle out of it. So I'm good with that. Now I just cut a little piece of scrap white paper because I needed a base for everything to sit on. So I put some glue on there and I glued it to the back of the cat, put the vellum on there. Now, I'm going to use some wire, and I'll see if I can link some wire for you guys. I don't know, but if I can't, and worst case scenario, go and grab a twist tie and pull all the paper off of it because you can use the wire on the inside of a twist tie for this. But I wanted her little charm to hang on her neck there. So I'm just going to get her all glued together. Now, I kind of didn't plan this out very well. I went to put her head on, and when I matched it up with her collar, the cone wasn't in the right place. It wasn't centered. So I had to pull that up. Thank God it was vellum. It came up no problem. So now I'm just trying to piece it all and pull it up and put it down, and it's still tacky, so I'm good with that. So I'm going to give that a quick second to dry. Actually gave it more than a quick second, but it looks like a second in the video because I edited it out. Now I'm going to use my take your pick, and I'm just going to put 2 little holes, and then I'm going to feed that wire through there, fold it over, and then one end of each of the wire will go through one each of the holes. Does that make sense? I'm trying to zoom it in here so you guys can see. So I didn't have a hole punched all the way through there the first time, so I had to bring my pick back in again. But I'm just going to twist tie that wire in the back, and I'm just going to use some Scotch tape to tape it down. And her little charm I didn't know what else to do with the charms. I haven't thought of another way. When I saw those little charms, I was like, those got to go around their necks. I just got to figure out now how to put a name on them. You know me and my little ideas, right? So I'm going to use the Stitch Shapes dies and the new 6x6 Regals designer series paper. And this is supposed to be like a little rug, I guess. I didn't want her floating on the card. Like she needed to be grounded, right? So again, if you saw my unboxing yesterday, I did say that these Playful alphabet dies, I was going to use these a lot. So I had originally pulled out a stamp that said ouch, and you probably saw it earlier there in the video sitting on one of the blocks. And I was like, no, I want to use my new dies. So I cut out 3 of them and I just lined them up and put a little piece of tape on them so that they were easier to run through the machine. And now comes the fun part. Just take your time here, watch a movie. It's not that bad, but I cut out 3 of them because I wanted some dimension. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen. And this is one of those times where I'm kind of happy that I don't have the overlay on my nails and they all broke off and they look terrible, but at least I didn't have like long nails all getting in my way to do this. So if you have long nails, honey, I feel your pain. This is not easy with long nails. But now what I want to do is that little mouse. I was thinking, now originally in my mind, I was like, I'm going to put him or her on one of the letters just to kind of make it a little bit more playful and fun. Now, I pulled out the textured essentials because there was just way too much white space on this card and I was kind of struggling. And this kind of like, you remember Linus? What's his name from Charlie Brown? The one with the blanket. Lionel? I can't remember his name, but he always had like the little bit of dirt all around him all the time. Well, that's in my mind what I was thinking. This is like the unhappy dirt with that terrible look on that kitty cat's face. So it's just I'm trying to create a theme here, right? So that background was the one that made me go, yeah, okay, that's the one I want. Now I have to decide what color I want to stamp it in. So I did pull out I don't know which one that was, crumb cake, I think. And I just thought it was going to get lost. So I went with the soft suede. Now I stamped this up or inked it up. And then I thought, is this going to be too dark? So I stamped it on a piece of scratch paper and I put the kitty there. And I thought, no, it's not. And then I thought, oh, maybe it is. So I thought, well, let me do a second generation. So here I go with the second generation. And I'm going to put the kitty back on it. And yeah, that was where I wanted to go with that. So I was pretty pleased with the color, but I squished my ink pad into my red rubber too much, and see there, I got a little mark. I know you guys have done it too, but paper has two sides. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat that process and ink it up again. Now I did pull out, I can never remember the name, Tasteful Textile embossing folder. It's my favorite, but I can never remember the name of it. So I embossed that, and then I pulled out some Post-it tape, and I'm going to ditch this Post-it tape here in a minute because I was playing still and I hadn't decided where I wanted everything, and it was driving me bonkers that I couldn't see behind it. So anyway, I left it in so that you guys could see. You can just put some Post-it tape there and it's easy to put your letters down. Make sure they're super, super dry before you pull it off. But nevertheless, so I'm going to get some dimensionals here on the kitty cat, and I put the little strip on the bottom, and then I put it on the card, and I was thinking, I didn't want the cat floating. And now it looks like it's floating again on that rug. So I had to scratch that. So I pulled that off, and I'm going to use some glue, and I'm going to glue the little rug directly behind the kitty cat. And you're probably wondering why I didn't just pull back that piece I had already cut. I didn't find it was wide enough. I wanted it a little wider. So I just went with the regular dimensionals. Now here's where I'm in my mind going, I can't stand this tape here. So I pulled it off. And I was really struggling. I actually turned the camera off for a bit, trying to figure out what I was going to do to fill that bit of space, because I felt there was just too much white space. So I pulled out some ribbon, as you saw there. Now, I did pull out the itty bitty greetings, and I pulled this little sentiment out of here because I thought the I'm here for you is kind of perfect, because this isn't a card intended to give somebody because their kitty cat just got spayed or neutered. It's more in my thinking, it was more like, ouch, you're not feeling good. Like, I'm here for you. Now, of course, this card would be perfect if it was a get well card for a cat lover. But you know what? I think anybody with a sense of humor would definitely enjoy this card. Now, here, I'm using the punch so that I can flag the N. And I brought it in really, really close so that you could see if you flip that Label Me Lovely punch, or flip your paper and put it back in the other way, you can create those flag ends. So just a little tip. I don't know if you guys had seen that. I didn't think of it. I saw someone else do it, and I was like, dude, she's a rocket scientist. I love that idea. So I thought I would show you guys. So now I'm going to get all of these ribbons. Now, both of those, the white and black and the red, are from the Playful Pets suite, but I wanted to bring in the linen thread. Now, that linen thread is out of a paper pumpkin, but it's the exact same as the linen thread that's in the catalog, so I'll link it for you guys. Now, because I have 3 different threads here, it's kind of a pain to tie them and they want to slip and slide everywhere. So I'm going to get them into position and I'm just going to tape them. Now that's the back side, of course, the one that I stamped with the little mark on it. So I'm just taping on the back side. And I brought out a little pencil and I made a little mark, you probably noticed there, just so I had an idea where I wanted those to go. So now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not the world's best tire ribbon bow person at all. I struggle with it. My fat little fingers do not enjoy this. So I'm just trying to keep my ring finger on my right hand holding the knot down while I tie everything together. I forgot that little guy there, so I'm like, oh, you need to be on this side, so I got to pull him over. And anyway, so now I'm looking at it and I don't like where it is, so I'm going to pull the tape up. You can leave the tape there when you put your card down, totally up to you, but I wanted to shift this. Now, another thing that was bugging me is the ribbon, like it wants to turn where the knot is, right? Well, I'm going to show you how to win this little war and fix that, because you're just going to pull out your little glue dots with your little pick, lift those up, hide them underneath, and bada bing, bada bam, they look perfect now. So I pulled out the bone folder so that I could curl my linen thread, tried to curl the red ribbon. No, the red ribbon wasn't having it. So I thought, okay, I got to cut it shorter because they're not going to curl. I did leave them longer intentionally, hoping that that stuff would curl, and it didn't. So I'm going to trim them. And I really wasn't happy with how long they were, so I'm going to trim them again. And then the linen thread, that one bottom piece, when I curled it, it's all cute and curly, but it is not laying where I want it to. So I'm going to show you how to win that war too. Now here, I thought I'm going to just kind of do something a little different, and I'm going to fray these edges. So I did the bottom and the top, frayed those up. I'm going to snip this here, try and recurl it. It's still not working with me. It's not reading my mind and going where I want it to go. So I will win this war. I will show you what to do. Now that little mouse, I decided it was better to put him or her on that sentiment that I cut out. So threw some black dimensionals on there because now I don't got to color them. And I just thought the little mouse was the perfect little touch on there. I really like that. Now I'm going to pull all the dimensionals off of there, and I'm going to put her, look at the look on her face. Oh my gosh. Yep. She's not having a good day. This card, I mean, somebody is going to love getting this card. So somebody with a sense of humor. I mean, I hate to say I wish somebody would get sick so I could send them this card. I almost thought about giving it to Todd because he just had that surgery, right? And thank you, everybody, so much for all of your warm thoughts and comments. It really warms my heart. And he's doing really, really well. He's actually off all the medication. It's making him sick. So he doesn't think the pain is enough to keep feeling nauseous, So he's like, I'm done with the medication. So anyhow, back to my card. Thank you again, everybody. It's really, really sweet that y'all thought of him. Now, I just eyeballed everything, as you could see there. I used the fine tip glue pen, and that little exclamation mark didn't want to go down, but I won that war too, got my pick out and fixed that. Now here, this is what, I do this so much, and I never end up with a video to show you guys. So I'm going to put a little bit of fine tip glue. Now I was going to put my new block there, but I know what happens to these blocks. They get all gummy and gluey, and I don't want that on my block. So I'm going to use my bone folder just to hold that down. Now, see how I got all my sequins, or my, not sequins, I'm sorry, the elegant faceted gems. I had them all on there. So the bone folder was actually on that linen thread much longer than you saw it on there. So just put something on there and then it will stay exactly where you want it. So now I did put quite a bit of glue over the ribbon and in my corners, and I kind of spread it because I got a lot of splooging with my glue. This is the one that I had put to the side because I stuck a pin in it, so the end is a lot more open. It's got a bigger hole than it should, so my glue splooges out. So anyhow, I'm going to use that there from back on your feet. The sentiment went. I used so many different dies and stamp sets on this card, and I had a whole suite to work with, but I just went every direction here. So nevertheless, this here is out of the Playful, well, I guess it's Pampered Pets stamp set. in the Playful Pet Suite, but those are the little hearts, and did my little insert because, I mean, I don't know who I'm giving it to, but this was the perfect little sentiment to go in there. So I really enjoyed that. So let me know in the comments below if you picked up this suite in the new catalog. I always love hearing from you guys and chatting with you. Or you can join my Facebook group and chat with me over there and let me know if you got this suite or what you are going to be getting. But until I see you again or talk to you again, take care and happy stamping!